Every year during the NFL draft, fans fall in love with players, create rankings, and argue about who should go where, but the reality is the draft is unpredictable. Half of these players are going to end up in situations that completely change how their careers go. Today, I'm breaking down the top players in this draft, what they actually bring to the table from a football perspective, and then I'm going to give you a full first-round mock draft. Not what I think will happen, but what I would do if I was making the picks in these situations as a GM, right? My name is Carson Troupe. Welcome back to episode 14 of the Trust Troupey Podcast. NFL draft time, NFL draft time. Yo! What is good, everybody? What is good? What is good? What is good? How is everybody doing today? We are back, episode 14 of the Trust Troupey Podcast. 14 weeks in. This is crazy. We are 14 weeks into this year's podcast. Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. Things are moving up. Things are moving up. We hit 100K on TikTok. We're about to hit 10K on Instagram. The podcast pages are slowly growing. We're slowly getting a little bit more traction every single time. I'm very excited. Like I said before, we got to do plug-in every single episode. Make sure you guys go follow the TikTok at Troupey Whoopie. Make sure you go follow the podcast TikTok. I apologize. At the Trust Troupey Podcast. Make sure you go follow the podcast pages at Trust Troupey Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube at Troupey Whoopie as well. That's where the video for these episodes will be. We're getting in. We're going places, man. We're going places. Slowly but surely getting to the places we want to be. Slowly but surely growing into what we want to do. Very excited for what's next. Very excited for what we're gonna do next. But I think with the NFL draft coming up, it's this episode is long overdue. You know what I'm saying? This episode is definitely long overdue. I'm going to give a full rundown of every single position, the top players at each position. I'm going in today, okay? It's a lot of research that went into this. I'm going in every single top player at every position, right? Definitely locking in. But like I said before, we're growing. We're ever so slightly, but we're getting there. We're doing our thing and we're rocking out, you know what I'm saying? But the first segment I am starting with today is I'm gonna go through the top quarterbacks in the draft, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and kind of go from there, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we got to start with the presumed number one pick as we're talking, Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza was a guy I watched all last year, big time game time type of player. You're gonna get his best game when the game is tight, when the game is close, when the game is on the line. You're gonna get his best game because he's gonna stand in the pocket. He's gonna make some amazing throws. He's gonna be strong in his base. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a little light in the ass for him being a 6'5" quarterback. Yes, he's 200-some pounds. You can tell within his frame. Obviously, the NFL is gonna fix that real quick. He's gonna get in that weight room. He's gonna get some oomph to him. You know what I mean? I think it's strong. His strong suit 100% is that deep ball. I ain't gonna lie. He has a freaking rocket of an arm, right? That arm showed up in some of the biggest moments of the year. I look back at that last drive of the Penn State game. He had 3 or 4 throws consecutively right on the money, down the field. Charlie Becker came down with them, perfectly placed. I think of games like that. I think of games like Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, third down on the line. He throws a beautifully placed ball to Charlie Becker, almost seals the game, right? I think of Miami, every third down, every third and long, every third and whatever. I think of every third and long or whatever. I think of those. Accurate as hell. What I don't like about, I guess this is not about his game. What I don't like about him per se is, I guess, the presumed nature that his offensive scheme that he ran at IU is going to fit directly into what the NFL wants. Now, who knows? The Raiders absolutely could change up their whole scheme and change up their whole whatever just to cater to him. But that offense he played in was a one-read offense. He didn't have to read much. It was a decision-based thing. It was a, hey, mesh, pull. type of offense. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I see the mesh. I see him open. Pull that, throw it. Pressured. He was also very bad in the pocket. Yeah, I mean, like there are certain things that I look at that I'm just like I don't know. I don't know. It kind of just makes me like hinder off from him. I said it this year. I don't think he was the best quarterback in the country this year. I think he benefited from him being on the best team in the country after beating the best team in the country, and that's what won him the Heisman. I don't think he was a better quarterback than Pavia. I don't think he was a better quarterback than Chambliss this year. I think full body of work, obviously, if you add in the playoffs, he had a better year than them, but I don't think he was a better quarterback than a lot of these guys. And I think a lot of that's going to show when he gets to the NFL, and I think a lot of these guys, the only problem is this is a weak quarterback drive, so like it was Mendoza and then there's whoever else. But if we're looking at year to year, I think Pavia was a better quarterback. But as far as like the Raiders taking him one, they're set on taking him one. They're set on taking him one. But I don't know. I look at this and I kind of go and I kind of teeter-totter back and forth because there again, Fernando Mendoza had some moments to where he was clicking on all cylinders. He was making good throws. He was commanding that offense. Then he had times in that Miami game, in that Penn State game, in a couple of those games that you look at him and you're like, dog. You know what I mean? I don't know. For a number one pick, when I think of a number one pick, I'm thinking of, I guess, the quarterbacks of the past, and I think I need to get out of that because we're not in the past anymore. I don't see number one pick. I see mid to high first rounder, but again, the Raiders are adamant on him. But one thing I will say is I don't know how confident the Raiders are in him. You just signed Kirk Cousins to $100 million to a large deal to either be the veteran or to be the quarterback that he learns under. If you were confident in Mendoza, I would say why? But again, I get it. You have to have. I think the best course of action is, and I think every franchise should do this, sit the quarterbacks for a year or two under a veteran. I think Kirk Cousins is the perfect veteran for him to sit under. Similar play styles, similar type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a perfect quarterback to sit under, and I think they would absolutely benefit from that. I think he would benefit from sitting under for a year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The next quarterback I kind of want to get into is Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson, the funniest part about it is I think Ty Simpson's a better quarterback than Mendoza. I think Mendoza had a better system. But there are certain things Ty Simpson does better than Mendoza. There are certain things Mendoza does better than Ty Simpson. What I liked about Ty Simpson is he worked out at absolutely no offensive structure this year. No offensive structure. When they were winning games because Ty Simpson was stepping the fuck up. They had a stretch of winning like 4 or 5 straight where Ty Simpson, every third down was making a big play. Every fourth down was making a big play. Every second down was making a big play. And they did this without a run game. Alabama's running game was absolutely atrocious this year. Absolutely atrocious this year. You know what I mean? But he did a lot of things. I think his strong suit is 100% working in that high to intermediate route combination. I think that's where he shines. I think that's where his bread and butter is. That's where he goes in. You know what I mean? It's that intermediate in-breaking, you know what I'm saying, that in-breaking route combination that he does. He throws it so well. He layered a couple of those balls. I know, pause. But against Oklahoma, he had a couple huge throws on third downs to some intermediate guys, crossing the field, shallow routes. And I was like, wow. Like, Ty Simpson, when he's on, he's on. But that's the problem. When Ty Simpson's off, he's off. And I think the lack of experience is what scares me with Ty Simpson. With a lot of these guys, they're 3-4 year starters. They're at least 2-3 year starters. Ty Simpson started for 1 year. He had a solid year. Obviously led him to the playoffs, did a lot of things. But it's the lack of experience that kind of gets me and that kind of makes me question, wait a minute, how good is he? How good is he going to be? The problem with Ty Simpson it's not the problem with Ty Simpson. I have a strong inclination that my Cardinals are going to draft Ty Simpson. I'm going to be very, very upset. I'm going to be very, very upset if my Cardinals settle on him in the late first round. I don't think Ty Simpson is the option. I think we wait till next year's draft and draft our quarterback of the future. And I can get into that another day. But Ty Simpson is a quarterback that, again, he reminds me a lot. His situation reminded me a lot of what Shedeur Sanders had. No running game. A lot of the run game had to be through screens and stuff like that. But he was making shit happen. You know what I mean? Like, not only was he making shit happen, he was on top of it. You know what I mean? Like, he was on that shit. And I think a lot of that has to do with the pro style type of offense that Ty Simpson played in. A lot of under center, which happens in the NFL. A lot of shotgun, a lot of pistol, a lot of different things that you're seeing. Simpson played in all of that. Grubb had them right. I'm not gonna lie. Grubb had them in such a pro style type of system. Man. I don't know. I don't see him as a first round guy. I see him as a first round guy. I see an early second round maybe, depending on who wants to take that chance. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to give him the keys, you know what I'm saying? But he's also a quarterback that I look at that I'm like, you got to sit him for a year or two. He has the potential to be somebody's franchise quarterback. But how much are we going to rely on that? You know what I mean? How much are you going to rely on the fact that Ty Simpson could or could not be a good player? You know what I mean? There's certain things that intrigue me about Ty Simpson. There are also certain things that scare me about Ty Simpson. The lack of, I guess, playing, the lack of having any experience is scary as hell. But regardless, yes. Okay, regardless. Let's move on. Diego Pavia. After watching his John Gruden interview, it gave me a different perspective on him. I thought he was a good quarterback this year. I didn't think he was a great quarterback this year, but he has a knack for the game. He has a mind for the game, and he was an absolute playmaker for them this year. He was the team. The team rolled on his back. Like, the team was Diego Pavia. You know what I mean? And it's hard to overlook that. It's hard to see that and be like, oh, he wasn't a natural-born leader, that type of thing. The stature is a little bit scary, even though I don't think stature matters at all at the quarterback position. I don't think it matters at all. But as a player, he didn't do anything, I guess, special for me to think anything higher than the third round, right? I think a team would take a chance on him as a glue piece, not only a glue piece, but as a project type of quarterback. Maybe you turn him into something. Maybe but I don't know. I see him as more of like a journeyman. I see him as a future journeyman in the NFL that can come in, run systems quick, and happen. You know what I mean? I don't know if I see him as a future like NFL type of quarterback. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think what could make him into that is I think he throws a beautiful deep ball. I think his deep ball is one of the best in this class. At the same exact time, I think sometimes he struggles with the intermediate route. I think sometimes he relies too much on his feet, which is crazy. But the thing with Pavia that I want to see most is I want to see him develop into somebody that can take a hit but also deliver a throw. I don't think he does that well. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But after the tape that I've watched, that's the one thing I've kind of liked. I don't know. That's the one thing I've kind of like shied away from him when it comes to Pavia. But I liked Pavia in college. I liked him in college. I liked the way he was able to command the team. I liked the things that they ran. I think that offensive system was perfect for Pavia. Is it going to translate? Who knows? I don't know. I do not know. The last quarterback I want to talk about is Taylor Green. Or not the last. I want to talk about one more. Taylor Green. I'm sick and tired of the narrative that Taylor Green is going to play wide receiver. I don't think he should switch. I think he's an athletic specimen. I think he's a project quarterback, obviously. I don't like that whenever we see a black athletic quarterback, it's, oh, he's going to switch positions. No, he played this position his whole life. And I understand this is not how things work. I understand like if he wants to stay in the league, whatever. I don't care about none of that. You're telling a guy that played the position his whole life, that got recruited to play this position, that is in this position currently, to switch positions just because you think he should. I'm sorry. I hate that. Because at the end of the day, if you learned and you studied and you absolutely love the position you play, why would you want to switch? Why do you keep doing this? Why do we do this with a quarterback every year? I understand the Lamar Jackson comparison between him and Lamar is totally different. We're talking about a Heisman-winning quarterback that they just disrespected because they disrespected the hell out of Lamar. They absolutely did. And look at him now, right? I think whatever team drafts Taylor Green is going to They have a task on their hand. Fix the throwing motion. You know what I'm saying? Fix the intermediate passing struggles. Fix that type of thing. You fix those things, we're talking about a specimen. We're talking about something we ain't seen before. We ain't seen that type of quarterback. We have the prototype. We have the Vince Young prototype. We have the Cam Newton prototype. But if Taylor Green can get molded into something, we're talking about Megatron at receiver. Megatron at quarterback, dog. It's crazy. But I need people to stop talking about, well, he's going to have to play. No, he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to do a damn thing. And I think the more y'all try to act like he is or he has to do something, the more it's going to irritate me. That boy played quarterback his whole life. That is a quarterback. Stop trying to mold him into something that you want him to be. I don't care. And the thing I loved about the Gruden interview is he was adamant. Like Gruden, when you look at the Gruden shit, he was adamant. He was like, you sure you don't want to play receiver? You got Megatron comps. And Taylor Green was, nah, I'm standing on what my decision is. I'm standing on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm standing on what I believe. I'm standing on how I believe it. I'm standing on my position. I'm standing on what I grew up playing. And Gruden loved it. And one thing y'all didn't understand about that meeting is Gruden's a quarterback guy. Gruden wants you to be all 10 toes into this position. All 10 toes. And I feel like he showed that. Not only did he show that he wanted to play the position, he showed that nobody else is going to take him out of playing that position. I loved it. It's not a quarterback. Listen, there are things he needs to work on. Like I said, the throwing motion, that'll get fixed in the NFL. How many times have we seen a throwing motion get completely flipped on its head? I think the only one I haven't seen is Phillip Rivers, but that's because Phillip Rivers is like that, right? Throwing motion, he misses some short, easy passes sometimes. That'll all get fixed with an amazing quarterback coach in the NFL. I think give him some time, give him some patience. He's gonna develop into a solid NFL quarterback. Last but not least, I want to talk about Mr. Carson Beck. Now, if you would have talked to me about Carson Beck after his last year at Georgia, watching him, I would have told you this quarterback's not draftable. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. This year really showed me a lot. Now, there were absolutely games that he shit the bed. That Louisville game was bad. That SMU game was bad. There were games where he did not play well. But there were also games that he was a big part of the reason why that offense was doing anything. I look at the Ole Miss game. Whenever Carson Beck has the ball in his hands at the final drive of the game, what does everybody say? He's going to Beck it. He's going to fuck it up. He's going to find a way to fuck it up, right? He's going to find a way. He didn't. He made some huge throws. He made some huge plays. And it really impressed me this year. Carson Beck absolutely impressed me this year. Carson Beck is now somebody that, as a GM, I'm like, 4th round quarterback, okay? Let's see what he can do. He's got all the experience in the world. He's got the pedigree of winning a national championship. He knows how to get to a national championship. He's a natural-born leader. He's not a bad thrower of the football. You know what I mean? We still have some concerns about the elbow injury. But after this year, I look at him, I'm like, maybe we take a chance on not a younger quarterback. Maybe we take a chance on him, mold him into what we want him to be. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at a Carson Beck 3rd round pick. I'm not mad at a Carson Beck 4th round pick. I'm not even mad at a Carson Beck late 2nd round pick. Do I think he's going to go in the 2nd round? No. But he really impressed me this year. He really did. I'm really impressed with him. I'm beyond impressed with him, actually. Because, again, I didn't think anything of him. Do I still think he's a top NFL quarterback type of guy like he was getting projected to be a couple years back? Absolutely not. Never, no. But I think he'll be an okay quarterback, right? I want to get into my favorite wide receivers in this class, okay? Next segment. Skill positions, next segment. Getting into the wide receivers of this draft. First things first, I need people to understand this. I need people to know this, and I need people to get this. Cardinal Tate is the best receiver in this class. Watching him this year showed me a lot. Amazing deep ball threat. What did they say? 85% of his catches were contested catches, and he caught 85% of them? That's insane. Deep threat. Teams that should draft him, I think he'll end up as a top top 5 to 10 pick, obviously. Anywhere within that range. The Commanders would love him. The Browns would love him. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of teams that could use him, that could utilize him. But if we're talking about most well-rounded receiver in this draft, it's Mekhi Lemon. Slot guy, speedy slot guy that not only is great at the catch point, gets open. Look at his games this year, man. There's a reason why he won the Biletnikoff. Look at the games he played this year. He was a monster in that Illinois game. Monster in that Michigan game. Like, dog, that team surrounded by him. He was so good. He's one of those receivers that can be your gadget type of guy. Bubble screens, jet sweeps, shallow crossers, intermediate dig routes, corners, post. He's that type of receiver. I really like Mekhi Lemon, and I thought he was well deserving of the Biletnikoff this year. The next receiver that I'm a little bit torn on is Jordan Tyson. The injury is a concern. The injury is absolutely a concern. And I think you absolutely have to pay attention to the fact that he got hurt a lot. He missed a lot of crucial games because of injury. You know what I mean? Even the year prior, crucial games, he's out of the Texas game because of injury. Like, there's a lot of games that I look back at, but if we're going to look at upside, he's got great size, great speed, great at the catch point. This is a really good receiver draft for me. I think this is a great receiver draft. And I think any team that takes Tyson, one thing I don't like is the fact that he's a top 10 guy. He needs to absolutely go top 10. If he does not go top 10, it's a problem. The problem is now he's getting projected late first round, and there's going to be some team that gets an absolute steal out of him. I personally think he should go wherever the Chiefs have that pick. I think the Chiefs have the 9? Wherever the Chiefs go, Tyson will be a perfect candidate for that receiving core to not only bolster an already great receiving core, but to give Mahomes another weapon like that. Whoa. That's crazy. But I think bar for bar, if we're talking about best route runner in the class is Skylar Bell. Skylar Bell is going to make some GM millions of dollars. I think Skylar Bell is arguably the best receiver in this class. Route running ability, 10 out of 10. Hands, 10 out of 10. His ability to read a defense while on the fly, 10 out of 10. I watched him in person. For those of you know, I go to Syracuse. He played Syracuse. Oh, my goodness. I think he had 148 on Syracuse. He was killing. He was killing. Skylar Bell's one of my favorite receivers in the class. Realistically, if I had to draft those guys in order, I think Carnell Tate's going to be the first receiver off the board, followed by Tyson, followed by Mekhi Lemon, followed by Skylar Bell. Those 4 are my top 4 in the class, and I think it's a really good top 4. It's a really good top 4. Let's get into running backs. Bar for bar, the best running back in the class. Is Jeremiah Love. I think he's the second coming of Reggie Bush. Speed, acceleration, power, anything you want him to do, he's got it. Vision, patience, all of it. He's got all of it in the back. I think he's one of the best backs we've seen in a long time. I'm not just saying that as a Notre Dame fan. He's one of the best backs I've seen in a very long time. Very, very long time. Titans, I think, thinking about it. Commanders are thinking about it. There's a lot of teams. He's a top five back, but I know how people are about drafting backs. Not only that, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. What else do you want in a back? My running back number 2, Jadarian Price. I'm seeing first round grades. He needs to be a first rounder. That is a dog. Think of power back with speed. Like, what are we talking about? Power back with some serious speed. The way he's able to get defenders to bounce off him is crazy. He amazing contact balance, all of it. Amazing vision, all of it. Another back that needs to absolutely need to be drafted. I think, like I said, I'm giving him first round grades. If that's not a first rounder, maybe I just don't know ball. But I absolutely, no, that's a great pick. That's a great pick for me. I'm thinking for myself, what is a comparison? I see a lot of Adrian Peterson in this game. I see a lot of Adrian Peterson. I think Adrian Peterson was just a million times faster than Price. I see an Adrian Peterson. I see a power type of back though. I see a power type of back. I don't know. I'm trying to think to myself. Who would be my number three? Go with Mike Washington as my number three. You don't have a running back with that type of size, that type of speed, and that type of ability to bounce off respect. Dude, I'm trying to tell you. Him and Price are kind of similar to me. I think Mike Washington's faster, but Mike Washington's an athlete. I think the biggest thing about this year's draft is I think a lot of these guys, even Katron Allen and his name, the other running back from Penn State, I think all of these guys can catch it out of the backfield. I think all of these guys are great in contact balance. I think all of these guys will do a lot. Only problem is there's quite a gap between Jeremiah Love and some of the rest of the running back prospects. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, though, but Mike Washington will be my three, and those are the only three I'm going to do. Katron Allen, we have 4 years of tape on him. Another power back that can absolutely rumble. Tight ends is easy. Kenny Sadiq out of Oregon. Dude, athletic specimen. He's going to be one of those players I'm going to be excited to watch all year. He's a Rookie of the Year candidate for me because he's going to go into an offense with, oh my God, whoever gets him as an offensive coordinator is absolutely going to have a field day with all the packages they can put him in, with all the formations they can put him in, with everything possible to put him in. Oh my God, they're going to have a field day with him. They're going to have a field day, man. They're going to absolutely love him, right? Pause. They're going to absolutely love him. Other than that, there's not a lot of tight ends in this class that I'm really looking at, but let's get into defense. I think we all can agree the best edge rusher in this class is Arvell Reese, followed by David Bailey, followed by Ruben Bain. Those three guys, good Lord. Those three guys right there. David Bailey is a monster power rusher off the edge. He gets stuck in some situations because I feel like he doesn't know how to he doesn't know how to adapt. He doesn't know how to fight back inside. He doesn't know how to counter his moves. Arvell Reese, I think, is the perfect edge rusher prospect. People were talking about his dip and his lean and his low shoulder. He fixed it immediately. He's one of those. He reminds me of just the ultimate player that's able to adapt. His power to speed, his speed to power ratio when pass rushing is amazing. His speed is absolutely amazing. Not to mention he's versatile. If you want him to play an off linebacker, he's gonna play an off linebacker. If you want him to play an edge rusher, he's gonna play an edge rusher. If you want him blitzing off the edge as an outside linebacker, he's gonna do that. One of my favorite prospects ever. I love watching Arvell Reese. That boy is a ball player, bro. That boy can play, man. That boy can play. Not only is he an uber athlete, his instincts are crazy. One of the best counter pass rushers I've ever seen in my life. He gets upfield. He sees the quarterback coming backfield. He's strong arm. He's long, strong arms. He's able to shed amazingly. Yeah. That's a prospect right there. And then Ruben Bain, one of the better prospects in this draft as well. Jesus Lord. Ruben Bain is so nasty. And for all y'all short arm merchants out there, shut up. Ruben Bain is going to be a horse. Oh my God. If the Chiefs draft Ruben Bain, that'd be great to prep with Chris Jones. Ruben Bain's gonna be a horse. His not only is he quick as shit, but he's strong as hell too. I think he's the strongest player in this draft, in my opinion. Strongest player in this draft. Super great pass rusher. He's gonna do great. Let's get into corners. Defense. More defense corners. Best corner in this draft is Montour Delane, followed by Jermod McCoy, followed by people are giving high hopes to Colton Hood. I think Avion Terrell's up there too. I think Avion Terrell's the third best corner in this class. I'll talk about it in a second, but I'm going to go with those three. Jermod McCoy is an interesting prospect. I had a whole film breakdown video on him. He's the Jamar Chase of this draft. His 2024 tape was so good that he was able to sit out of 2025 with an injury, and he's still a top 10 level pick. And he is that good. Press coverage, he's a tall, lanky corner that gets hands-on, that's able to shuffle his feet, and he's able to move. Off-man coverage, his break on the football is almost flawless, bro. It's amazing. It's amazing. He is a rangy corner. Everybody loves a tall, rangy corner. Jamar McCoy is that. Jamar McCoy is that. You want to put him in the boundary, he's got it. You want him to press coverage, your number one all game, he's got it. You want him to do that. I think he had one lapse all 2024, and that was against Jeremiah Smith in the playoffs. That was his lapse. That was his one lapse. That was his one lapse. The one lapse he had all year. But Jamar McCoy is one of my favorites in this draft. He is top 10 pick for me. Top 10 pick. No question. Mansour Delane. I think he is one of the better press coverage corners I've seen in a long time. He's the best press coverage corner I've seen since Jeff Okudah coming out of college. And Jeff Okudah was nice. Oh my God, I think Jeff Okudah is a top 5 corner of all time in college football. That's how good he is. I think Mansour Delane is right up there with him when it comes to press coverage. Amazing feet at the line. Eye discipline is amazing. Not only that, he can move his feet with the best of them. Not only that, he's so good. He's so good. So good. He's really damn good. Mansour Delane's going to be somebody's number one corner coming off the draft. He is the best corner in this draft. Last but not least, Avion Terrell. He reminds me so much of his brother. But what separates him, his ability to tackle, he wants to come up and tackle you. He wants to lay the boomstick. He wants to. That's how good he is. He wants to come up and absolutely rattle running backs. He wants to. Not only that, great press coverage corner, great in off man, great in zone, great in all facets. He's a sleeper for this draft. Malik Muhammad's another sleeper in this draft, but I think he's a zone-heavy corner. Terrell, that's a guy. That's a ball player right there. That is a ball player, bro. It's a ball player. Okay. Let's move into the segment. One of the last segments, I want to talk about, let's take a break. I want to talk about players that I'm super high on. I want to talk about players that I'm super, super high on. I want to talk about a lot of players I'm super high on. I'm sorry for the O-line. If you want me to list some of the O-linemen, Monroe Freeling's up there. Spencer Fano, obviously, is really damn good out of Utah. Maui Noah is really damn good. Those are my top 3 O-linemen, regardless of position. Safeties. When it comes to safeties, I don't know, man. Oh, shit, Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is the best safety in this class. That's a top 5 pick. Very excited about him. I don't want to bore you guys with everything. It's kind of hard. Not hard, but safeties are weird. Thieneman's up there, too. He'll be a first-rounder. McNeil Warren's really damn good, too. But with safety, it's a little bit, it's Caleb Downs, and then there's a gap, right? Caleb Downs is a bona fide first rounder, but there could be the potential of 3 to 4 safeties to go in the first round. I will say that. There's a potential of 3 to 4 safeties to go in the first round. Also, what's his name? Looking at my list right here, I got Max Ianachor out of Arizona State. Don't really know how to say his name. I apologize. There's a lot of guys on this list. Blake Miller out of Clemson's really damn good. Peter Woods, I think, is the best defensive tackle in this draft. I think he's a top 5 player to me in this draft. Is anybody going to draft him? There's a lot of players I'm missing. I apologize. I'm going to go over a lot of that when I get into my mock draft, okay? At the end of the episode. I apologize to everybody, okay? A lot of guys in this draft, though, that are really damn good, that are very solid. You know what I mean? But. Guys I'm high on. Guys I'm super high on. I told you the 2 guys I'm super high on. I'm really high on Mansour Delane. I think he's going to be a future. I think he's a future all-pro corner. Jamar McCoy I'm super high on, too. Arvell Reese I'm extremely high on. Maui Noah, I'm high on him as well, along with Carnell Tate. Those are my players I'm super high on. Jamar McCoy, I told you, rangy corner. He can do everything. You can't pass up on that. Arvell Reese, I think he's one of the best pass rushers I've seen in a very long time. Very, very long time. Maui Noah, technique-wise, he was the best O-lineman in the country. He anchored down one of the best O-lines in the country at Miami. He absolutely amazing, absolutely shutting down some of the best pass rushers in the country, right? Last but not least is Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate is the perfect vertical threat you need in your offense. Sure hands, amazing route runner. Yeah, nothing else to say about that. Players I'm not as high on. Mendoza. I'm going to sound like a hater. Mendoza. I'm not high on Mendoza. I've explained multiple times. I'm not high on Mendoza. I think he's a first-round level quarterback. I don't think he's a first-pick level quarterback. I think there are too many things that scare me about the prospect that make me question how good he actually is, especially with some of the stipulations. Obviously, I'm high on Jeremiah Love too, but some of the stipulations, yeah. Another player that I'm iffy about, I'm not going to say I'm not high on him. Another player I'm iffy about, Jordan Tyson. I think he has the upside to be one of the best receivers in this class, but I also think that injury is scary, so it gets me a little thrown off when it comes to him. Okay? And then one more player I'm not as high on is Thieneman. I think he's a great tackler. I think in coverage he has a lot of things to work on, feet, a lot of eye discipline sometimes, but I think he's an amazing in-the-box safety. I think whoever gets him in the first round is going to end up, molding him into whatever. I think he's a box safety at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But boom. I wanted to kind of speed run through those because this next segment, I'm going through pick by pick for the first round, okay? Let's pause here. Pick by pick. It's going to be kind of rapid fire. Pick by pick of who I'm taking in every round. Who I'm taking with every team. So, let's get started. At the first overall pick, to which I don't think they should choose this, I'm going to go with Fernando Mendoza. Okay? I think he's indoctrinated into that first round pick, right? At pick number 2, I'm going to go Arvell Reese, okay? A lot of people are trying to get David Bailey in that spot. I think Arvell Reese is a better prospect in every single pick or way, right? I think he is not only better pass rushing, he's more versatile. Not only is he more versatile, he's faster, and I think he's just an overall better player, right? Okay. At the third pick, as much as I would want Love, as much as I would want a Sonny Styles, I think we need linemen. I'm going Francis Mauigoa at the third pick. There's no reason why the Cardinals don't go linemen here. There's no reason why the Cardinals don't go all in on linemen this year and then go for a quarterback next year. I absolutely think the Cardinals are trading this pick, though. I'm not going to say what I think. I think they're trading that pick. You know what I'm saying? But at number 4, I'm going Jeremiah Love. I think the Titans are going running back. Pairing Cam Ward with Jeremiah Love is going to be absolutely dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. At pick number 5, I think the Giants are going to anchor down their defense. Then again, I was thinking about them anchoring down their defense, but also at the same time, I think pairing Malik with a receiver will be crazy, but I think they're going to anchor down their defense. I think they're going to go Caleb Downs. Yes, I think they're going to go Caleb Downs. I think they're going to get somebody that can play everywhere, that can truly do it all for you, right? Number 6, I think as much as I think the Browns should power down on O-linemen, right? I think they should power down on O-linemen. But they're going to go a receiver. I think they're going to go Carnell Tate, right? Yeah. I think they're going to go Carnell Tate. There's no reason for them not to, right? Pair Shedeur Sanders up with one of the best receivers in this class. Pair Shedeur Sanders up with not only one of the best receivers in this class, but with a deep threat. I think the Browns go with Carnell Tate. Okay. So we are up to pick 7. Washington's going with Sonny Styles. Okay. No questions there. At number 8, I think this is where David Bailey gets drafted. I think David Bailey is going to get drafted to the Saints. Do they need pass? Yeah, they do. They need pass rushers, right? Yeah, I think they go David Bailey there. Okay. At number 9, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I do think the Chiefs are going to go with Reuben Bain. I think the Chiefs are going with Reuben Bain. I don't see any reason as to why you don't anchor down on that D-line to make Chris Jones and all of them 10 times better with Karlaftis. That's ugly. So Reuben Bain's going 9, right? So I went David Bailey at 8. I went Sonny Styles at 7. At 6, I went Carnell Tate. At number 10, we're going Mansour Delane. Best corner in this draft. I think that's not a question. Not a question, right? Right. At number 11, I'm going to go Monroe Freeling. Yes, I know. Dolphins are going to lock down on their offensive tackle there, right? I think they're going to go Monroe Freeling here. At number 12, I believe this is Dallas. At number 12, I'm going to go Jordan Tyson. At number 13, I'm going to go Mikhail. At number 14, I'm going to go Spencer Fano with the Ravens. Makes a lot of sense. You're going to draft an O-lineman anyways. 15, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft Kenyon Sadiq. I see no reason why they're not to pair him up with Baker, and you just lost Mike Evans. Yeah. At number 16, people are saying wide receiver here. I don't know if I see wide receiver here. I feel like you play it safe. And you go Caden Proctor here. Okay? Feel like you play it safe, you go Caden Proctor, right? Number 17, I'm going Max Ianichor out of Arizona State. Makes a lot of sense. At number 18, Carson Smith's gone. I think you want somebody to replace him. I think you're going Dylan Thieneman. Number 19, I'm going Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. At 20 is Dallas, and I think they go, I don't know, do they go wide receiver? Oh, I tweaked. I just realized I didn't draft Monroe. I didn't draft Jermad McCoy. Oh, shit. I think Dallas drafts, at number 20, I think Dallas drafts Jermad McCoy. I'm switching that up. I don't like that at all. That's bad. That's bad. At number 21, I think the Steelers are going with Iowan from Penn State. Sorry if I butchered his name. At number 22, I'm going Peter Woods. Peter Woods out of Clemson. Like I said, I think he's a top 10 pick, but I think people will shy away from him. At number 23, I think the Eagles go offensive tackle, and I think they go Blake Miller. At number 24, right? I see no reason for the Browns at number 24 to not go O-lineman, right? I think the Browns get a guard. I think they go Rutledge out of Georgia Tech. Okay. At 25, I want to say that the Bears will go DN. We'll go Zion Young out of Missouri. The Bills, I don't know. I feel like they're set in on an edge rusher too. 26, the Bills. But I also feel like they go receiver. Fuck it. I'll go Omar Cooper to the Bills. And then 49ers will go Keldrick Falk from Auburn. Okay. Defensive end. 28, I think the Texans are going to go Kristen Miller. At 29, I think the Chiefs go Avion Terrell. People are trying to put Colton Hood at the spot. I don't think they do that. I think they go Avion Terrell. I think they get their number 1 corner here. Okay? And then the Dolphins, they kind of do need a quarterback. Let's just say the Dolphins go Ty Simpson, just for the fuck of it. Number 31, I think the Patriots are going with Mesidor. And at number 32, I think Jadarian Price will go to the Seahawks. If you are a fan of my mock draft, no, you're not. My mock draft is my mock draft, and I understand it's a little shitty. But some of those players, I think, will go in different spots, whatever. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys go watch me on all socials and all platforms. I love you guys, and I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are continuing to do well. Listen, you ain't got to like me, you ain't got to love me, but you can trust me. Thank you. Have a great day.